Greetings everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Freeman. I'd like to welcome you all to my channel. In this video I answer the question, will the U.S. men's national team blow their chance to make it to the round of 16? At any point feel free to click the notification bell or subscribe to my channel to get more content. So without further ado, let's begin. So the U.S. versus England match in the 2022 World Cup ended in a 0-0 draw. Now this result was very disappointing for England, but it's actually a really good result for the U.S. So now it's pretty simple. If the U.S. beats Iran, then they'll move on to the round of 16. But if they get a draw or lose to Iran, then they're out of the tournament. So will the U.S. make it to the round of 16? Well, my very simple answer is yes, and here's why. First, the U.S. defense has been very solid in this tournament. Aside from a few silly mistakes from Walker Zimmerman, including, of course, the big mistake where he fouled Gareth Bale and gave them the penalty kick, the U.S. defense has been pretty much impregnable. Now, even though Iran has scored 4 goals in the tournament so far, I just don't believe that they're a bigger scoring threat against the U.S. than either Wales or England. Iran's 2 goals against England came after England had already established a dominant position against Iran, and the 2 goals against Wales were basically in stoppage time after Wales were down to 10 men. Based on what I've seen so far in the tournament, I believe that the U.S.'s defense is better than both England and Wales. The second reason I believe the U.S. will make it to the round of 16 in the 2022 World Cup is because the U.S. players offensively are better than what they've shown us so far. Haji Wright, one of the U.S. forwards, is currently the second leading scorer in the Turkish Super League, the highest level of soccer within Turkey. Josh Sargent, another forward for the U.S. men's national team, is currently the leading scorer in the championship, which is the second highest level of English soccer. And that's not to mention Christian Pulisic, who plays for Chelsea, and he currently is the leading scorer for the U.S. men's national team. He currently has 21 goals and 52 caps. So despite the fact that we don't have what's considered a pure striker, we do have players who know how to score goals, and they score consistently, both internationally as well as for their club teams. Now, the third reason I believe the U.S. men's national team will make it to the round of 16 in the 2022 World Cup is because Iran is the weakest team we're going to face in the group stage of this tournament. Now, if you give any credence to the FIFA rankings, Iran is ranked 20th in the world. That's behind Wales at number 19 and the U.S. at number 16, and of course, well behind England at number 5. And so the idea is that if we play to a draw against England, we should have beaten Wales, aside from a mistake by Walker Zimmerman, then we should beat Iran in this last match. Now, as we saw in the Wales match against Iran, of course, just because you're a lower ranked team doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose to the higher ranked team. That's you play the matches to see the results. But the point is, against Iran, we should be able to possess the ball as much, if not more, than we did against England and Wales, and should definitely be able to make more chances for goal scoring. And so this brings me to the final reason why I believe the U.S. will defeat Iran and move on to the round of 16 in the 2022 World Cup, which is that basically the England versus Iran match gave the U.S. a blueprint for how to beat Iran. Now, through the first 2 matches of this 2022 World Cup, the U.S. has shown that it could dominate the midfield as well as play with tremendous amount of pace. Now, how did England beat Iran in that first match 6-2? By dominating the midfield and playing with a tremendous amount of pace. Now, the U.S. on paper is not as good as England by far. So let's take that off the table. But the point is that when it comes to beating Iran, you don't have to be as good as Brazil. You don't have to be as good as Spain. But what you can do is, if you play with a tremendous amount of pace, both the U.S. and England can do that. And if you can dominate the midfield, again, both the U.S. and England can do that, then you can beat Iran. And so we have the blueprint there. You look at what England did. You do what England does. Again, we played them to a 0-0 draw. And no, we're not as talented as England, but in regards to how organized the midfield is, how disciplined we are, how athletic we are, we're at the same level, in my opinion, and therefore I think we can beat Iran in the same way that England did. Now, do I think it's going to be 6-2? No. But what I will say is that I believe that we will dominate possession and that we will attack them on the wings. And with Pulisic, his skill on the ball is going to be a real problem. And also, if we get Gio Reyna in there, that's also a very skilled player. So we're going to have chances. It's just a matter of putting them in. And we did it against Wales, and I think we'll do it against Iran multiple times. And so one thing I did not do in my last video on the World Cup, which I wish I had done, is to give you a scoreline prediction for what I think is going to happen. And so I'm basically going to say the U.S. is going to beat Iran 3-1 in this match. I think that we're going to dominate possession. I think we're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at them. Pulisic will dominate possession. We're going to bring on Gio Reyna. He's going to dominate possession when he has the ball. And I think we're really going to cause a lot of problems for Iran. We're going to keep them on the back heels, and we're going to go at them. We're going to play as good as we did in the first half against Wales, and the two halves against England, because this is it. This is what we're playing for. There's no more tomorrow. This is the first round of the knockout stage against Iran. If we win, we're going through. If we lose, we're out. And so the key thing is we can't lose, we can't draw. And so we're going to play at our top level, as we've been doing in, again, 3 of the first 4 halves of this tournament. And we're going to come out with a win and going to move on to the round of 16. And from there, the sky's the limit. Now, if you found this video interesting and or informative, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. Also, please leave comments below telling me what you think is going to be the scoreline in the U.S. versus Iran match. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day. you.